it's a public health issue, and we understand that we have to take care of us, but some people are making real hard sacrifices, and therefore there will be a realization that we're in this together. And so I really hope that innovation leaders post-pandemic will be focusing on helping us transition into a transformed world, helping us transition into a world where there is more cooperation, where there is more aspiration towards human goals, even Earth goals, planetary goals, rather than the individualistic accumulation of of wealth, status, or what have you, because we're rebalancing values at this point. So I think what will make successful innovation leaders, and by success I mean people who achieve things that are of a greater good for themselves as well as others, are going to be those that embrace their humanity, that open up, that don't expect others to think that they know the answer to things, but that they are explorers, that they are people who are looking for alternative ways of doing things. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these things that are alternative have very high adoption rates, very, very quick adoption rates. But also I think that, having lived through the .com myself, having worked for a former .com with increasingly high adrenaline levels at that time, I think none of us wants that again. We are understanding that the exponentiality of growth eventually turns into an S curve. That may be a bit abstract for our audience, so let me explain. We seem to have been obsessed pre-COVID on the so-called hockey stick of growth. So starting, and once you break through as a company, having exponential growth, very high growth rates. But if you look further in the horizon, you see that that comes at a cost, and that sooner or later the growth declines and it stabilizes. And so that's why the curve, it forms from a hockey stick into an S. And I think that we now know that. And so we'd rather have more organic growth rather than extreme growth, because we're in it for a marathon. It's not just small sprints of growth. We're in this for a long term. So I hope that this is authenticity and a holistic view of goal setting, meaning not just the next quarter, but what is the impact of what we're doing for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? How will it change the course of things? That these are things that we have to have the daring to tap one another on the shoulder and say, hey, what you doing? And how's that helping anyone?
Yeah. And why are we doing? Do we believe that this is the good direction? And when we see maybe it's not what we meant, we can correct it all the time.
Yes, always.